Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Oh no, say it ain't so. Everyone down for another 5 years. This courtesy of Jungle Inc. here. Now, this was an article, a prediction, I guess, from the Motley Fool. XRP will soar to this price in 5 years. I don't want to wait 5 years. How about you guys? Put it down in the comments section. XRP is the fourth most valuable cryptocurrency with a market value of about $145 billion. It's currently trading in around $2.40. Well, today it is trading a little lower. If you guys didn't catch this morning's video, I did talk at length about Bitcoin going below that psychological level of $100,000 per coin. And if you guys want to check out that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. We got XRP right now in and around $2.25 per coin. We've obviously got the ETF news, which I'm going to be talking about in more detail later on in this video. Morningstar, though, those analysts estimate the entire cryptocurrency market will expand at 10% annually during the next several years. So right now, we're essentially in a situation where we are retracing and taking back some of those gains, getting rid of the leverage traders. And a lot of people are suggesting that this market is being set up for the institutions to buy in, more robust market, less leverage, more serious players in the space. They say here that forecast is sensible, but I think XRP will perform better than the broader market. I predict the altcoin will return 20% annually to reach $6 by the year 2030. That implies 150% upside from where it trades today. So $6 by the year 2030. Who is interested in that price? Who is not interested in that price? Put it down in the comments section. We were expecting a lot more, I think, from XRP. We're still expecting a big influx, I think, of liquidity to come into the market. Even if we can get up to the 1.618, getting up to $4.66 at this moment in time would be great. Once we do see that next push to the upside, is there a chance? Do I believe this? 5 years? Will it take 5 years to get to $6? Well, for more information on what I'm doing, me personally, Working Money Channel, you guys can follow me at patreon.com/Working Money Channel. It is only $5 a month. I think you guys know the shtick by now. This is where I go over all my trades, opening up my portfolio to show you guys what I'm trading, where I'm getting out at, where I'm going to be buying in on dips. All that for the low, low price of only $5 per month. But you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock in. So what is going to bolster up XRP price? Well, guys, of course, we just got the launch of XRPC, and it surpassed BSOL, so BSOL, to become the biggest ETF launch of the year. This coming from Eleanor Turret. To be honest, though, with the XRP army behind it, is anyone really surprised? So she was just retweeting out Eric Balchunas' tweet, and you guys can see here, volume, we're at $2.2 million, and that was, I think, only 30 minutes in, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not entirely sure when this screen grab was from. Oh yeah, congrats XRP for 58 million in day one volume, the most of any ETF launch this year. So obviously taking out Sol at $57 million. The two of them are in a league of their own, as third place is $20 million away. So what we had yesterday was a big milestone for the XRP community, the XRP army. And I think for legacy finance, I think you need to sit down and think about this real hard. This coming from Chad Steingraber. This is pretty normal average net inflows for an hour of XRP. So the Canary XRPC did $245 million in day one. So think about that for a second. And guys, don't forget there are dozens more ETFs incoming. So what does that mean? Well, Steve McClurg, who's the CEO of Canary Funds, he went on Nate Geraci's show the other day. XRPC smashes 20 million in the first 15 minutes and 26 million in the first 30 minutes. Projected full day, that's about $338 million versus Solana's $57 million. And guys, here's what Steve McClurg said in a recent interview.
We'll talk more about the trading activity thus far in XRPC. Obviously, it's very early. We're recording this not long after the market opened, but what does the initial trading look like so far?
Yeah, so far in the first 15 minutes, we've seen about 20 million in volume, and we expect a lot more. One of the things that won't show up in volume is in kind, and we can talk a little bit more about that if you want. But now that in kind has opened up for crypto ETFs, you won't see that in volume, but you'll see it in end of day AUM.
So just going over some of those metrics there, wanted to thank Safe Crypto, wanted to thank Chad Steingraber, Eleanor Turret, and Jungle Inc. just for posting that. Save Crypto with another one here. I think a lot of the naysayers are also very surprised that the XRP ETF is smashing Solana's volume within just a few hours of launch.
Yeah, an XRP ETF launching today, which I think I don't know how it'll do today. I don't know what it will mean for underlying XRP, but having interacted quite frequently with the XRP army, I think this thing should do quite well. Because right now, right, isn't mostly crypto just trades on Lindy? You know, like we kind of just you get the effect of the crowd and they buy and they're excited, and that breeds more buying and excitement. I think this thing should do quite well. Solana's done well, the ETF.
Yeah, it might do.
They're at a loss of words, aren't they? Too bad, so sad. Wrath of Kahneman here posting this. So spot backed by physical XRP, guys. This is not derivatives. Remember, these XRP ETFs are backed by physical XRP. When the trust sells or redeems its shares, it will do so in blocks of 10,000. So that would be considered a basket based on the quantity of XRP attributable to each share of the trust. He says down here, note, each share represents a fractional undivided interest in the XRP held by the trust. The amount of XRP represented by each share will gradually decline over time. So although the asset is XRP, the backing per share is dynamic, and one share equals a fixed amount of XRP. So just going back to this fact that XRP has to be purchased for these ETFs to exist. Well, I guess not for them to exist, but the idea is they're going to be purchasing more XRP, guys, as more of these XRP ETFs are launched. You know what that means. More XRP demand equals a higher XRP price. Right now, it's looking as though XRP is still following Bitcoin in the spec market. So why hasn't XRP price rallied yet? Well, let's break it down, okay? Canary ETF, so everyone understands how it actually works. So the XRPC holds real XRP in Gemini and BitGo. They buy XRP before launch to seed the fund. So they purchase some XRP already. After launch, they only buy more XRP when the new ETF shares are created due to net inflows. That XRP is usually sourced via a mix of OTC desks and major exchanges, not just smashing the public order books. So the $58 million in volume number you see is mostly traders flipping shares, not the raw size of XRP buys. To get into it a little deeper, well, this is the Eric Balchunas tweet that I talked about earlier. Vincent Van Code saying the funny thing is people think the XRP ETF is targeting retail. Think again. Okay, we're going to talk about how the price is going to go up in a sec. I just wanted to go over this first. So think of who's going to be involved. Okay, massive funds, retirement funds, family offices, hedge funds, you name it. Everybody's going to be investing in XRP, but due to the complexities in audit and compliance, they can't just buy and hold on crypto exchanges and certainly not on cold wallets. This XRP ETF gives them instant opportunity. Major funds need 1 to 2 weeks to study and analyze the give and go ahead of the traders to buy. The analysts will usually look at market conditions, future potential, adoption, etc. to make their calls. The XRP ETFs will fastly become hot property, and I think until arbitrage trading bots catch up, we might see an accelerated price pump ahead of XRP price pump. In any case, I'm really excited to see what these sophisticated market analysts think and act on. I secretly already know. So that coming from Vincent Van Code, giving us some more of the, the nitty gritty, some of the technicals there. Future XRP, now looking at price and, perhaps giving us a bit of a price prediction of, where XRP price could go just based on the fundamentals that we're seeing in the ETF market. So as I understand this, he says, Canary seeded their XRPC spot ETF with 10,000 shares at $25 a share. So that's about $250,000, each backed by 10 XRP. So 100,000 XRP to start. Now imagine this thing really gets moving. If today's volume hits 57 million at an average of $25 per share, that's about 2,280 new shares. Canary would have to buy an additional 22.8 million XRP to balance the funds. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, he says. And then he wanted to just kind of reiterate on his last point here. Could somebody please check my math and assumptions and tell me if I'm off here? Okay, so here's a critically important follow-up, okay? Canary funds just posted net inflows of $245 million. So based on their prospectus, see the link below, and assuming their shares are priced around $25 and each share is backed by roughly 10 XRP, that implies the fund would need to source on the order of 100 million XRP to rebalance. 100 million XRP, guys, is about 0.1% of the entire supply, and this is just on one day on one XRP ETF, namely the Canary ETF. And I haven't even looked at the chart yet. XRPC, that is Canary, and we do know that price did collapse yesterday. We did see it go up for the first 30 minutes or so, and then we just saw the thing crater down. Currently, the markets aren't open yet, but currently it's trading at around $24.57. Did see a high of about $26.89. So, guys, this is going to be in flux. We're going to see this moving up and down commensurate with XRP price. So why hasn't XRP price gone up based on the ETF? I mean, there's demand. We're hearing about the inflows. We're hearing about, all this volume being gobbled up by this ETF. If you're still asking why it didn't affect price, understand how the ETF process works. This courtesy of Chad Steingraber, okay? Tomorrow, T1, the net inflows will be handed over to purchase the asset. What I'm saying is the ETFs are about to start going on a buying spree that will not stop once they get started. So, guys, they have to settle. Remember, not everything has been tokenized yet. Capital allocation, as Chad Steingraber does point out here, the money from the sale of these new ETF shares is given to an ETF sponsor who then uses the capital to purchase more of the underlying assets. So guys, that's going to take time. That is not going to happen instantaneously. Hopefully that helps bolster up the price of XRP. And guys, especially since this is just one XRP ETF, remember, when they all come online, things are going to change. I can feel it. Who knows that quote from what song from the 90s? Put it down in the comments section if you know. I took it upon myself to ask Grok, hey Grok, how will the cumulative release of the XRP ETFs eventually affect the price of XRP? And so Grok came out with this. Okay, the launch of the XRP ETFs, like Canary Capital's XRPC, which began trading on November the 13th, has already generated significant initial buzz and trading volume, over $58 million on day one, surpassing even Solana's earlier this year. So Grok, really up to date here. I asked this question last night too. However, the immediate price reaction can be muted or even negative due to the sell the news dynamics, where traders who bought in anticipated cash out. XRP dipped from around $2.48 to $2.30 in the first few hours of trading, reflecting this. Spot ETFs require issuers to purchase actual XRP to back the shares. So as Chad Steingraber was saying, T+1 settlement. So the real buying pressure from these volumes may not hit the spot market until 24 to 48 hours later. So guys, we could see it between today and I don't know if they mean the next business day or if that could go into Saturday. Well, what does that mean? Today is the 14th, Friday, Saturday would be the 15th, Sunday would be the 16th, maybe November the 17th if we're looking at business days, potentially stabilizing or lifting prices above $2.50 soon after. Grok goes on to say here, in the weeks following, expected heightened volatility with possible surges to $3 to $5 if inflows accelerate. So guys, we could in fact see $3 to $5 if inflows accelerate, driven by retail FOMO and early institutional allocations. Historical precedents like Bitcoin spot ETFs saw an initial 10 to 15% dip before rallying 50% in the first month due to $4 billion of inflows. Remember what happened to Bitcoin, and I have to show you guys this. Maybe to hopefully bolster our confidence, just a little bit here. After seeing the Bitcoin price just kind of plummet, it hasn't felt great. But if we remember back to January 2024, so that would be in and around here. Okay, so that was the Bitcoin ETFs. So there was a rally. There was a rally anyway for Bitcoin. Maybe we could call this front running. Then when the ETFs were launched, we did see a dip over the next month, 20 days or so before we saw a big rally to the upside. So that is exactly what happened with the Bitcoin ETFs. We could see that 50% rally in the first month due to $4 billion in inflows. Ethereum's ETFs had a milder pop, but still added about 20% in quarter three amid $1 to $2 billion of inflows. For XRP, though, with odds of further approvals, so we got to remember, we got Bitwise, 21 shares, etc., at 95 to 99% by year end. A cluster of launches could amplify this. $3 plus for the short term. What's the long-term price impact for XRP? Well, guys, I've got the numbers down here. I'm going to link this in the description of the video. Let's look at some of these time frames. So between 3 to 6 months, again, let's not forget that a lot of these ETFs are going to be released right away. The conservative estimate, $3 to $4. Bullish estimate, we're looking at about $5 to $7 per coin. So that is just within the next 3 to 6 months. In the next 1 to 2 years, on the conservative side, between $5 to $8, looking at $10 to $15, and that's assuming we get about $5 to $8 billion of inflows and an altcoin season. And then 3 to 5 years, guys, $8 to $12 or $20+ for the bullish estimate, 10% annual growth. Again, we have to assume that the cryptocurrency industry is also going to be maturing at that point. All this to say, overall, with short-term dips possible, of course, the cumulative ETF releases should drive sustained upward pressure on XRP price by bridging crypto to mainstream finance. This isn't financial advice, of course. Crypto remains volatile, at least as of the time of this post, and outcomes depend on macro factors like the Fed rate cuts and global adoption. But guys, it feels as though global adoption is right on our doorstep. I mean, we're in a precarious spot right now. For more information on where I think the market's going to go, you guys can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Only $5 a month if you guys are interested in following what I'm doing. You got to subscribe and stay subscribed, though, to lock into that $5 price. And if you feel so inclined, you guys can mosey on down to the Working Money Channel merch store. Link is in the description of the video if you guys are interested in purchasing some Working Money Channel merch. Thanks to everybody who's been purchasing the merch. I really do appreciate it sincerely. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.